Welcome to Stock Charts Trading. So today we're going to talk about a bearish bat pattern. We're going to then go to the next level, which is going to be a butterfly pattern, and then the next level above that, which is a crab pattern. What I mean by next level is, if you see here with this bearish bat pattern, basically it's a bearish trade. And then you can see an A, B, C, D pullback, which is a counter trend trade, which goes up. And then you see that this says part D, and that's the sell-off. Now, here's the thing about this sell-off is it going to be part of an Elliott wave, leg 3, or is it part of a continuation that's going to keep the market going down? Right now, we're in a bear market. You can see that prices come off greatly off of their lows. And so that's why I want to use these three patterns to kind of identify where there might be some resistance. I do not think that we are going to pull back and stay into a downtrend. I think we're going to break through new highs and have an uptrend. But where can we see some resistance or buy back into the upside? And so right now we're looking at a bear bat pattern, and you can see that price comes down at a 0.88 Fibonacci level here. You're going to see some resistance and price is going to start falling off. Again, we don't know if this is going to come down all the way down to the C of this leg, or if it might just stop somewhere in this 38, maybe 50 or 60 retracement and then continue going up. Now we're into the bearish butterfly pattern. If you notice, the X leg seems smaller on this pattern because basically the X leg again is a down trend. You have a consolidation, maybe this turns into a head and shoulders, right? Here's A, which is the head. Here's C, which is the shoulder. You got a neckline here, breaks out, and price goes up. Now this one's interesting because it's a Fibonacci extension, and the extension is 1.27 all the way up into a 1.61. It's not really exact because it's not a 1.2, because a 1.6 exact is a crab pattern, and that's the next pattern we're going to be looking at. But again, you can see that basically it's broke through the highs here. So you have a downtrend or maybe even a top end pattern, and you break through the highs here, and you have this extension level out of the Fibonacci from your X to A, and it goes up into this 1.27 to 1.61 and then falls off. Again, is this going to create a head, and this is the shoulder, and now you're going to come down and create another shoulder and price fall off? I don't know exactly after this pattern what will happen. Will it just trace down 30, 60% and then come back up and make a shoulder? Will it come all the way back down to A? Nobody knows, but we at least want to look at these patterns to see where we think the market's going to go to and know that there's going to be some resistance. Now, with the crab pattern, basically you have the X leg, and this is seemingly the smallest, right? And then you have this huge up run because it's a 1.6. It's a clear 1.6 Fibonacci extension, and then you have a sell-off. And again, you can't follow the arrow exactly. This sell-off might just be come down to, right, dead cat bounce off this X leg over to here, bounces back up, and keeps on going. One of the ways that you can confirm how far this pullback's going to be after the selling point of these patterns is, what does the channel look like, right? So if we had something where you took a bottom of the A, bottom of the C, and you drew a trend line across, which would give you the channel, which would also probably give you the top side of the channel. So you'd see that you'd have resistance here off of this going up, and then you'd have support here off of the A and C level. And so unless it breaks that AC level support channel, then obviously you're not going to have a target down here of C. And so adding all of these things in together, if you want, watch our support and resistant videos to kind of get an idea about channels. Let's go to the market and see what we have. All right, so here we are on PANW. We don't know where price is going to go, but we do have 3 places of resistance. So our first place here is the bat pattern at 0.88. And it's going to depend on, is price going to come and hit the top of this channel, give us that resistance? Is there any other resistance, right? So we have support lines back here. We have support, 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 and now that's going to make new resistance. It comes right in at this bat pattern. If it breaks through that, maybe we come down, we touch the bottom of the channel, we come back up, and we hit this new Fibonacci 127 resistance line. Fibonacci's are resistance. They act as support on retracement. They act as resistance as extensions Or is price going to come down even further, bounce off the bottom of the channel, and go up to the crab pattern, 161, and fall off then? And really depends on this channel. So you don't want to buy or sell unless, depending on where you are on the channel. Are you at the top side of resistance and this is a confirmation and so you would sell? Or are you doing a counter trend trade where you'd sell just for a week or two? Are you at support where you would buy and have a further out target? All right, here we are on TTD. So you can see that we have this pattern right here, and it's either going to come into this bat pattern, which is 0.88. It's either going to come into the butterfly pattern at 1.27, or it's going to go all the way up to this crab pattern at 1.61. But you can see we have resistance, right? So here's support. You have another support. It comes across. And so right here at this bat pattern, you can see that we have this diagonal trend line that's adding resistance. And so if price comes up real hard, it also has resistance of our channel. So we have the bottom of these candlesticks, the top of this candlesticks give us this line. And so that we have a real strong resistance level where I drew this red box, which is a bat pattern. So if price comes up and then falls back off, but holds the bottom of this diagonal channel here, we go all the way up, you can see that your target would be somewhere in this $327 range. If price would then come down and bounce off of this old resistance level, make new support, potentially you could take this all the way up to 400 into these Fibonacci retracement levels, which would act as resistance. And so that would be a nice run for you. But it all depends on where the resistance is, and these patterns show clearly projective where the price could go, but then also where we should sell and take targets. All right, here we are at Home Depot. So you can see that we have a pattern. The X leg comes down. We have an ABCD retracement up into resistance, right? So here's support, 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 support. And now it's going to make new resistance. It comes into our bat pattern, 0.8. And then what's going to happen? Either it's going to break through and shoot right up because the market's on fire. Maybe it hits this line right here across double top, or it goes all the way up to our 1.27, which would make a butterfly pattern, comes down, bounces back up. And so what you need to do is be aware of where these support and resistant pattern levels are, because if you're sitting here saying, I think it's going to go all the way up to $400, but you don't see that here's a resistance, 1 resistance, 2 resistance, 3 resistance, 4 resistance, 5 resistance, and you just expect that this is going to go up to $400, it's unrealistic. So you have to know what other traders are thinking. Other traders are trading these patterns. And so you're going to see when price comes up into this 230 level, you're going to see price is going to fall off a little bit because they're seeing a pattern happen and they want to take profits, or they want to trade a counter trend trade. And so you'll see a pullback at this level. You'll see a pullback at this 270 level. You'll see a pullback at this 310 level. Watch and see where traders are pulling back. Like even if we look back here, we see that we have a 88% pullback. So that is what? That's a bat pattern. And what happened? Price came off the highs, it pulled back, it retraced, and then it shot back up again. What did it do? It went past the extension of the X leg. And so we could see that this is probably a butterfly pattern. And that's what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that if you hit a bat pattern that it's going to totally fall off and change trend direction. But I'm also saying be cautious, because this is a couple weeks worth of price moving back and forth. And what is your psyche telling you? Is your psyche telling you, oh my gosh, I'm above the highs here, and so we're getting a double top and it's going to fall back off? Or can you see that there's another level of Fibonacci, which is going to be a crab or a butterfly?